Welcome to Brainstorm MTG. I'm ELD, and this is Fast Effect Double Speed Magic: The Gathering from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Mass. Here we have Matt on a Wrenn 6 Delver build versus Adam on perhaps the same. We'll see. It could be Storm. He is familiar with many decks, and yes, I believe I see an ad nauseum there, so looks like Delver versus Storm. Tropical Island go for Matt. Adam setting things up with a Ponder, seeing a Lion's Eye Diamond. A very explosive card. And one of the great things about Legacy is when you take a look at Vintage and Legacy, there are actually decks that would not be legal in Vintage, which are played in Legacy. Of course, Brainstorm, the first thing that comes to mind as a 4 of, but there are a bunch of other cards as well, which are incredibly powerful and work just fine in Legacy. However, in Vintage, they're actually restricted. And we've got some cards here in Storm like that, most notably Lion's Eye Diamond. Lotus Petal, another one, along with Ponder and Brainstorm. Storm, a very fun deck. I have a lot of reps with it. I find it to be a fairly relaxing deck to play, if you can believe that. Just kind of, you're not really in control of the situation. You just do the best that you can, and if your opponent can stop you, more power to them. I find that to be rather relaxing compared to a control deck. Volcanic Island joins Matt's mana base, and really for a Delver strategy versus Storm, not ideal. He must have a just absolute fistful of counters for this to be a reasonable keep, and we'll see. It may not end up being a reasonable keep. We've got a Thoughtseize, so Adam, two-time Brennan here, going to be able to find out very quickly. Fetching a Underground Sea, and he's going to throw a Spell Pierce at that. And Adam going to go ahead and Dark Ritual right now. He's going to accept this Storm and be happy to pay the 2 for the Spell Pierce. So Dark Ritual resolves, another Dark Ritual. Oh, and now an Ad Nauseam. I do not know what to make of that. The fact that this Thoughtseize is still on the stack. Very surprising. Gonna need to be careful not to forget about that 2 life from the... Actually, no, he can just let it be countered. Never mind. I was gonna say he's gotta watch out for this Thoughtseize. So it will be countered. Matt attempting to stop that Thoughtseize. Adam sensing that the shields are down, and this may almost certainly be a wrap here. Multiple Dark Rituals, now a Duress. Oh, and just an abysmal hand. Oh, gross. Matt must have felt bad even showing that. That is just lands. It will not do versus Storm. No counter spells outside of that Spell Pierce. And that simply will not do versus Storm, especially not with a pilot like Adam, two-time Brennan. He's actually won multiple of our Friday Night Magic series that we've got started up here at ELD's Time Vault. We've been giving away marquee Legacy cards. Right now we're giving away Wrenn 6s. Every Friday night, a Wrenn 6 to the first place champion. Previously, we were doing Force of Wills, and people are loving it. We're actually moving through those cards at a surprising rate. Most of the players actually opting for the physical cards rather than an equivalent in-store credit. Wrenn 6, one of those cards that I think people pretty happy to get, but wouldn't necessarily want to take the $100 or so out of their pocket for, if they can help it. But if they can win it, I mean, that does unlock some additional archetypes. I've been saying for a while, I suspect that card's going to end up being worth more than Jace the Mind Sculptor. We'll see if that prediction ends up being true over the next few months. I think the real question is, once Modern Horizons goes out of print, and at that point, all bets are off. I mean, I have no idea what this product's going to look like. Such an incredible set. I mean, the lands alone, if this was like an unset and those snow-covered basics were in the unset, I feel like they'd be like $5. But because there's so much value in those packs, I mean, you know, even still, they're like $1. You're spending like $8 on a pack, and you're getting a snow basic guaranteed. Just an incredible set. And here we see both players leading out with lands. I see a Force of Will in Matt's hand, so that is at least some defense against what Adam has in mind here. Now, this is a match from August. I don't know if we're going to see Veil of Summer yet. That card, a major player in Legacy now. Potentially good enough to main deck in many combo decks. Blue, so omnipresent. All sorts of dual lands here. Tropical, volcanic, underground. By our forces combined, we have I believe, a Plague Engineer. I think that's a Plague Engineer. Just preemptively naming goblins. And I do not suspect that that's going to be too much of a problem here for Adam. The deck has more than enough card selection that can easily pivot away from the Empty the Warrens plans or find an answer to the Plague Engineer. Most of the answers are bounce, so you would need to accompany that with a Thoughtseize potentially. But more than likely, Adam just going to be able to pivot towards the Tendrils side of the plan. We've got a fetch, grabbing a Underground Sea. And a Thoughtseize now. Daze being fired off, but Adam is going to be able to pay the 1. And I do not recommend using your counters in this manner. The most catastrophic way this can backfire is actually adding Storm. And we've got a double Daze to take down this Thoughtseize. Ended up being 2 cards instead of 1 with that Thoughtseize, and we'll see what happens here. These Storm builds, many of them running 7 to 8 main deck singleton discard spells. Of course, the loss of Gitaxian Probe fundamentally shifted the Storm archetype a little bit, but it was able to settle in pretty quickly to a 8 discard spell build, 4 Thoughtseize, 4 Duress. Still getting pretty good information about what is in your opponent's hand. Granted, you have to pay a black mana for it instead of the 2 life of the Phyrexian Blue for Gitaxian Probe. And there we see another Thoughtseize peeled right off the top. So far, that first Thoughtseize took care of 2 Dazes. And he's going to pass the turn with 7 in hand. A luxury he can afford as this Plague Engineer, not a significant clock. Lightning Bolt, now down to 13. That at 11, this definitely hurts the Ad Nauseam plan. 11, potentially a functional 9 if you're going to have to pass the turn. Means that Ad Nauseam not going to be plan A. And Thoughtseize. I'm not actually sure what was taken there. The hand being revealed. All right, I guess I didn't follow that, but we've got a dark ritual now for Adam. I mean, it looks like a Veil of Summer to me, but I don't know why his hand would have been revealed. We've got Infernal Tutor, grabbing another Cabal Therapy. There's another Thoughtseize in hand, along with another Infernal. So we've got double Cabal Ritual. First one's going to add to 5. The next one's going to bring it up to 8. Lion's Eye Diamond, Infernal. Going to crack LED in response for red. And he'll be able to grab Past in Flames, replay it all, and get there. Yeah, I mean, that really looks like a Veil of Summer. I'm not sure why his hand ended up being revealed there. But regardless, that is a 2-0 win for Adam Two-Time Brennan on his way to another F&M win. That is all for this one, but don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Time Vault games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.